Hello, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for the Vampire Diaries, Season 5, Episode 6, Handle with Care. I'm your host, Dom, and with me I have Mike.
Hello.
How's it going, Mike?
The con crud is still seeping through my veins.
You sick?
Yep. Cold. Flu.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something. So is the wife.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Well,
You need to take the cure. Go talk to Silas.
One cure coming right up.
Is it chicken noodle soup?
No, it's tea.
That's
Really,
not the
really
cure.
hot tea.
Chicken noodle soup is the cure.
I don't have any of that. We might.
Hmm.
Ooh.
So, what do you think of this episode?
I enjoyed it. This season's actually keeping my attention, unlike last season, which for some reason I just didn't give a damn about. But I liked it. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
Silas is, on the side of good temporarily. Ish.
So we think. We don't really know where to put Silas.
In the grave.
Yeah. Well, that's where they want to put him. I don't know if
Yep.
I don't know if he needs to be there. Is he really evil? I mean, he just wants to be with his girlfriend,
Yeah, true.
and he's willing to do anything to be there. So can you really fault him for that?
No, I guess not.
So I don't think he's quite as evil as everybody's making him out to be. But we still don't know where his intentions lie, because it's a self-serving purpose. If it doesn't benefit him and a way to get to Amara, then he's probably not gonna help out. But do you think he's gonna stick true to his word and help them out by bringing Bonnie back?
No. I don't know. I mean, his whole, as I put it, his diabolical master plan is to die. And I mean, we've already seen that the spell to bring somebody back kills you. So, hey, why not? That's as good a way as any to die, I guess. So, in his mind, I would say.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He could just be a dick in the end and be like, no, Jeb.
He could, but what benefit is that gonna be to him? I don't really see him just being like, screw you guys, and I'm killing myself just by dying.
He might. If they help him get, reach his goal, maybe he will just be nice in the end to be like, all right, you can have your friend Bonnie back.
Yeah. What about Damon and Elena? They seem even more strained, and it just keeps seeming like the doppelgangers are meant to be. Is this running theme now? And do you think that's the case? Do you think the doppelgangers are meant to be, or do you think that's just something that Ketsia said to kind of throw them on edge?
Well, it makes sense. I mean, Catherine was always attracted to Stefan. So, and Elena was always attracted to Stefan. Elena is apparently still attracted to Stefan, and so is Catherine. So, it makes sense that, they're always, like, when she says, they're always meant to be, it's like, okay, I can see that. Yeah. Yeah. I have no reason to doubt it.
Yeah.
Yet.
Speaking of Catherine, she was told that she was gonna die. Silas needed to drink all of her blood, and then we see them do that. And last week's episode ended with her heart beating, and she woke up or whatever. And now she's alive, but it seems like she's still dying, just not the way we expected. Why? How? I don't even.
I have no idea. The cure for immortality was in her, thus making her human, and now that the cure is out of her, what is she technically? Maybe the cure was just what was giving her back her humanity, and now that it's gone, she's just whatever was left of the vampire without the vampire powers. So basically, she's a walking corpse.
I mean, she's deteriorating. Her hair.
Yeah, I mean, her hair's turning gray backwards.
Her teeth are falling out.
I mean, your hair's supposed to turn gray from the roots and go out.
Yeah.
It's going backwards.
Yeah.
And her tooth fell out. Like, not even just like a kid. It was like, all of her teeth look healthy. It's just like, comes right out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. How is she dying? She's deteriorating. Why is she dying? I haven't the foggiest.
It's got to be something to do with the cure. I don't know. I don't quite know.
I don't know either, but it's likely, definitely, almost definitely something to do with the cure.
Um, what about Amara and Silas? Amara completely just drained Silas of the cure. So now,
Yeah.
is Silas dead? Or is he kind of in the same boat as Catherine?
Well, if the cure was now in him, and that happened to Catherine, being she was human, I don't know what's up with Silas in that one, because he was an immortal. But
But
he drank the cure,
he
and he
drank the
became a
cure?
human with. He became a human witch with the cure in him.
Right.
So now Amora drank the cure, so he's probably in the same boat as Catherine. Maybe. Maybe it
See.
works differently for witches. Who knows?
So, do you think he's still mortal at this point now that the cure is drained from him?
He's definitely still mortal. And probably on a ticking clock like Catherine.
Hmm.
If she even is, dying. Maybe she's just turning into some kind of nasty zombie creature.
Yeah. Um, we see Catherine sneak off to Caroline and Elena's dorm to hide. And her and Caroline end up working together, and they approach Professor Max Westfield. I can even talk. Jasper's always got to be involved in these shows. Jasper always wants in.
Kitty.
You can't get enough. Um,
Kitty.
yeah, so they corner Max Westfield, and they drain him of his blood. They the vervain, get all the vervain out of him and stuff. You think Catherine's really this desperate? Did you see Caroline wanting to work with her? Like, that came as a shock to me.
Yeah, Caroline's never exactly, been Catherine's biggest fan on the account of Catherine killing her and turning her into a vampire.
Right.
So, I mean, they means to an end. I mean, they did find out that they couldn't get a vampire couldn't cross the threshold of that house of the party Elena was going to be invited to. So Catherine shows up, and Catherine's not a vampire anymore. So she just waltzes right on in.
Yep.
And then it's like, even the one lady's like, "What made you think she was a vampire?" Oh,
Yeah, she's completely caught off guard there.
mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Then we found out some more information from Mr. Westfield. He was talking about the Augustines being not necessarily a council, but I guess it is a council, but it's more like a school figurehead group to me,
Mm-hmm.
like almost like a fraternity, but for adults, like a cult almost, like a secret society more than anything. So what do you think the Augustine Society is?
I don't know. At first, I would have thought, oh, it's some kind of secret society that knows about the supernatural and is hip to all this stuff. And, they cover up Elena and Caroline's roommate's death because it was caused by a vampire. And I forget the words the professor used exactly. But, he winds up saying he covered it up because it was the Augustine vampire that killed her.
Right. So
So that shot my theory of it's an anti-vampire society out the window.
so do you think this vampire is actually on their council or whatever, or do you think this is just something that they keep locked up?
He's either in charge. Okay, the vampire is either in charge or kept locked up. And if it killed a random college student, either it got free or it's, in charge and does what it wants.
Yeah.
No idea. I just did one completely threw me. It's like, oh, it was the Augustine vampire. Like, what?
Yeah.
Why? Then why did you care so much if Elena and Caroline are vampires?
Yeah.
Is it like is it a one vampire town, college town, and that's why? I don't know.
I don't know. They seem completely shrouded in mystery to me. There's really not much information we know on them. I'm almost willing to bet that Elena's father was part of them. Um,
Probably.
yeah. So outside of that, I don't really know. I don't. We don't really have too much information to go off of. There's not too much we could speculate on there.
Mm.
But Dr. Max Westfield had Jesse held captive last we saw, and he was still discussing on his Walkman, whatever, his tape recorder, that he was still running samples and doing tests on the blood, but we did not see Jesse at all. So where is he?
No. Locked in a cage. Dead.
You think he
We
could have
don't know.
escaped? Do you think? I don't even know. Do you think the
They
Augustine
don't.
vampire summoned him?
I honestly don't know. He's either being held somewhere so they can do more tests, or he's dead at this point. I don't think like there would have been more of a bigger deal if he escaped. I think.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Um. Let's see. What about Ketsia? She she's kind of hiding in a cabin in the middle of the woods. Like,
Hmm.
what is she doing out there?
I don't know.
Does
Good.
she really thinks she could hide out there? I mean, it didn't take very much for Elena to find the place. Granted, she
I
lured Elena
guess.
there, but she didn't exactly say, "I'm in a cabin in the middle of the woods."
I have no idea. Maybe using some witchy magic, she can make it hidden to those she wants it to be hidden to.
It's definitely possible. Um, hmm. What about her giving all Stefan's memories back?
That that just seemed like torture, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because yeah, she was. It was only showing the painful memories as he was getting them back.
I
All
mean,
the nasty
he
ones.
did just betray her. So
True.
that seemed
She,
like the goal that he was trying to achieve there was she wanted to make him suffer.
yeah, she was. They had a moment, and then later he throws a knife at her or stabs her,
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
involving
he
a
stabbed
knife.
her. He offered to heal her later.
Yeah, he did. But no, I want this wound as a reminder of what you are.
Hmm. Do you
Yeah.
do you, um do you think she gave him all his memories back, or only a few of them, just to make him suffer, or do you think she's just trying to like manipulate the situation?
Um. See, I know the answer to this already because of next week's preview, but at first I thought this is a good way to torture him. Give him back some memories, a select few, and only the negative ones. Nothing good, nothing nice, nothing like, oh, I once loved Elena and we had a very happy, loving relationship and all that stuff. No. Give him back the, Stefan the Ripper and the he killed his father and he forced his brother to become a vampire and all of this stuff. This nasty, naughty stuff, bad stuff. Just to really screw with his head and make him an even more crazy, fragmented mental case.
Yeah.
That.
Um. Well, we ran into the travelers. Damon ended up killing a few of them, and they don't want Silas dead. We thought their purpose was to kill Silas, but now they're saying that they don't want Silas dead because he's the cure. Is this because of Amara and because two immortals exist, or do they want to cure all vampires?
I think they want the cure around because, as Tessa put it, I think, they don't like immortality.
Right.
So it's probable that they wanted Silas dead, but as soon as he took the cure and his blood, as soon as, his blood was the cure, they probably wanted to drain it all out of him and keep it and then kill him.
So, do you think they're also trying to eliminate the vampires, or is it just Silas and Amara?
It would be a tough one. I mean, the easiest way to eliminate the vampires would be go after the three remaining originals.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, that was even on the originals episode that was last night, that was even brought up that, again, that killing an original terminates their entire line.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I don't know. They probably just don't like immortality, like she said, in general, and they probably will try to wipe out as many vampires as they can.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, forcing them to drink this cure, which is a lot. I mean, yeah, it'd be easy to lure them into drinking somebody whose blood is the cure and draining them, but I think there's more effective ways to kill a vampire.
Right. But
Fire
not
being one of them.
but not an original. So who knows?
No, there's only one way we know of to do that.
Well, there's two now. The Cure.
Well, would that even work on an original The Cure?
I don't see why not.
Yeah, you know what, you're at it.
It worked on Silas.
Yeah, it probably would work on one of them. More crossovers incoming.
So we know at least two ways to kill an original. So I'm willing to bet that there's more than two,
Yeah,
but probably very limited.
probably very limited.
But in a previous episode, we actually speculated that the anchor to the other side was the dagger that Matt has in his possession that the travelers have been carrying around. But
Yeah.
it was revealed that's not the case, and Amara herself, she's the anchor.
See,
Did you see that coming?
no, the dagger theory made sense
It
because
did.
it's something the travelers keep moving around, and whatever the guy's name was, Victor, Vladimir, or whatever, something. Ivan was an Eastern European name. I don't know. He
Gregor?
said, Gregor. Ah, there we go. Wow, I'm out of it. He he said to Matt, protect, basically protect this for your life, or So that made sense. But now it being Amara, I mean, that's just evil.
Yeah,
Crafty, crafty Tessa.
it really is. So, I don't know. Now that she's mortal, they technically can both die, and the anchor to the other world is gone.
Yeah, and how did that work exactly? See, Anchor dies. See, wouldn't that be in Silas's best interest? Yeah, well, he would have to kill the woman he loves, and then he would have to die. And wouldn't they both find peace?
Yeah,
Because
but
she's the
then what
anchor, she would
happens to the
die.
other side, though?
Do they all
I
come spilling back? Do they go poof into some other kind of
I don't really
happy
know.
void of existence?
I don't really know. So the conundrum here is if he was to do this, and if they do not come back, he would have to bring Bonnie back first, and then kill Amara. Because if he killed Amara first, the other side would cease to exist, and Bonnie wouldn't be able to come back. But if they are
Plus-
able to come back, then it doesn't matter.
Right. And if they're not able to come back, he has to make sure he kills his loving love of his life first before he dies. Because if he dies, he goes to that little limbo. And then when she dies and the anchor's destroyed, he goes woof with that limbo.
Yeah. So,
It's a twisty, turny, mumbo jumbo naughty of paradox.
indeed it is. So, it's
That's
going to be
fun.
interesting to find out how that plays out. Do you think they're going to find some other way to bring Bonnie back?
Probably.
Do you think...
I mean, it's magic and witchcraft and shows and plots involving this kind of thing, magic and stuff like that, unless, there is a really complicated list of rules that they have given you, the viewer, in like the first season, then they could just use it to make up any thing they want to further the plot.
Do you think Tessa or Amara could bring Bonnie back?
I don't think Amara could. Amara seems kind of crazy.
Tessa's pretty crazy, too.
Yes, but I mean, Amara seems legitimately insane right now. Like, psychosis, schizophrenia, whatever. She's seeing people.
True.
Isn't she? So, I mean, and I had a discussion with Omi about this, and she said, that makes sense because Amara was just a human, wasn't she?
I'm not quite sure. We don't really
'Cause-
have too much background on her.
She was Tessa's handmaiden.
Right. But that doesn't
Which
mean
would-
that she wasn't a witch.
No, it doesn't, but let's just assume here that handmaiden means she was just a normal old human who served Tessa. Silas was a witch. He had some supernatural power. He gets locked in a tomb for 2,000 years. he has means to stay sane because of supernatural stuff. Amara is just a regular old human. And as I've stated on our American Horror Story podcast with Delphine being locked in a box, she, yeah, locked in a tomb for, 2 weeks, let alone 2,000 years, would drive you insane, especially if
Yeah,
you're conscious for the whole thing.
yeah, it would. So I don't know. Damon's got her now, so that's gonna be kind of interesting.
That actress playing three roles in the same room, that must be one dick of a scene to shoot.
Well, this is not even the third version of that character. Well, of the doppelganger character that she's played. This is what, the fourth or even the fifth?
Catherine, Elena, one of the friends of the originals back when they were made. Amara, I think this is four now.
Yeah. So
But three in the same room is what I'm getting
we've
at.
only seen two Stefan doppelgangers, so we know there's got to be more.
They've probably existed throughout the past and were nobodies and never got together with their doppelganger fellows.
Maybe, or maybe there's a third version of Stefan lying around somewhere.
That's all the doppelgangers.
We'll throw a big doppelganger party. Have all the vampire doppelgangers. I don't even know. But what do you think the dagger? What do you think its significance is? Like, we were just talking about it, but I can't place it anywhere now. Like, the anchor just made way too much sense for me.
I don't know. Maybe it's some secret consecrated weapon they're supposed to use to kill Silas. Oh. Yeah, maybe it's got some kind of power like the silver daggers the originals get staked with, stabbed with.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's for killing original werewolves.
It could be used for anything at this point. It could just be a shiny old dagger that he likes carrying around with him.
We haven't seen the original werewolf yet, have we?
Was there even an original werewolf? Because, I mean,
There had to have been.
well, the original vampires were werewolves aren't immortal, though. So the original werewolf was probably dead from old age.
Maybe.
Because the werewolves were already around
Yeah, but maybe
when,
they're all offsprings of him. Maybe he's immortal and they're not. We don't
who
know.
knows? Yeah, we don't know.
We don't. So, next episode we have is called Death and the Maiden. And it says, the power of the doppelgangers. While Elena and Damon try to explain Amara's situation to Stefan, Dr. West gives Catherine some deeply disturbing news. Nadia shows up at Caroline's dorm room searching for Catherine. After a surprising conversation with Amara, Jeremy and Bonnie share a glimmer of hope. Silas fails to keep a promise, causing Damon to turn to Ketsia for help with a new plan. Stefan makes a heartbreaking confession to Damon and Elena. So what do you think this heartbreaking confession is? That he's still in
Elena.
love with Elena?
Yeah. I don't know how heartbreak. Maybe. Oh, who knows? He's probably. I'm still in love with you, Elena, and because of that, I can never see you all again. Poof.
Yeah. What about the what is it? The promise that Silas breaks and they turn to Ketsia. Do you think that's the Bonnie thing?
Yes. I think. Maybe.
Yeah. And I wonder what the disturbing news that Catherine has for Dr. West. She already told him that she needs his help because she's dying, so I don't quite know.
Gives Catherine some deeply disturbing news. You're technically dead, and your body's just catching up with you. No, that's not it.
I think that
Probably
is
you're
what's
dying, and
happening to her.
you're dying, and I can't fix it because I don't know why.
Yeah.
And within a week, you're going to be a corpse.
I think that is what's happening to Catherine, though. Is she's deteriorated? Her body's catching up with her. I definitely think that's the case.
You see this facepalm? Catherine will probably be a vampire by the end of this season again.
Yeah, they'll probably try turning into a vampire to see if the cure is affected once it's left her system.
So I've been getting my vampires mixed up. In this lore, you know, canon universe, whatever, the older the vampire is, the stronger.
No.
Do they like gain just a vampire is a vampire, and they're all equally as strong and fast and powerful,
Yep.
more or less.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think.
Because I was gonna say, yeah, I don't know. See, I got so used to when I watched True Blood, I got so used to the fact that the older the vampire is, the more powerful they are. So, like some of them could fucking fly. So I mean, that's just ingrained in my head at this point. Like, oh, Catherine was like a 600-year-old vampire. She's way stronger than Stamen and Defen.
Yeah, I don't
But
think
yeah,
that's the
that makes
case.
sense because in the first couple seasons they were terrified of her. Kinda,
I think it's just because she's so manipulative.
probably, and she is kind of evil and crazy and unpredictable.
Yep. Mike, where can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at Philodren, Thilladren.
You can find me on Twitter at Phenomedom, Phenomedom. And you can
Do
find us
do do
all
do do
Phenomedom.
do 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 do. I had
Phenomedom.
to. Do 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 do. I've been waiting to do that ever since you got that Twitter.
So you can find us all on Facebook or youtube.com/ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Until next week, see you guys later.
Farewell.
Phenomedon.
Do 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 do.